Hello everybody, I'm working on a 2003 Toyota Camry starter problem right now. The trouble they're having is that when we crank the car, can you go crank the car? When you crank the starter, it just makes a weird sound. It doesn't really do anything. So this right here is the solenoid wire. Go ahead. And it makes, all right, thank you. It makes that sound. So I'm gonna disconnect this here by grabbing, there's a button in the front. You just push on it with your nail and then pull it to the right. And I already confirmed with this voltmeter. I turned to voltage right here and stuck this needle probe in to this wire. And while doing that, I put the negative over here on this battery cable and had the guy crank the car, and it said 12 volts. So that means that the solenoid's getting 12 volts. And I also tested over here, this nut right here. If you put this positive probe here and the negative over here, you'll see that it reads 12 volts when it makes a good connection. Right now it's not. Well, there we go. So it's got 12.5 volts. So that means that that is getting power and the solenoid's sending the signal, but the starter is not cranking the engine. You can look at the left side over here. You'll see the belt. It doesn't turn when he cranks it. I already saw. So I'm not gonna show you right now because I'm in a bit of a rush, but first thing you do is disconnect this negative battery cable. It's a 10. That's just for safety. We don't want it connecting or anything engaging while we're doing this. So we have a 14 millimeter, let's see, 14 millimeter wrench I'm gonna use. You can use a socket probably to get in there, but I'm gonna do a 14 wrench just because it looks a lot easier to do it this way. Get at it. Well, I might go for the socket, we'll see. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the socket. I'm gonna go for the extension too. Small extension. See, this cable's gonna get in your way, but you can get around it. Okay. Now we're gonna do the same thing for the one in the back too. It looks like it's also a 14. So now I've disconnected the solenoid and I'm doing this one here. I think I'm gonna opt for no extension for the one in the back. See how it turns out. But luckily with this car, you don't have to deal with removing any shields or splash guards. The starter's right up top to the left side of the battery. This is for a 2003 Camry LE 4-cylinder. However, when I went into the auto parts store, I told them it was a 6-cylinder because we erroneously thought it was a 6-cylinder, the owner of the car. But it turns out that this same starter works on the 2003 4 and 6-cylinder, so it doesn't matter. The auto parts store guy said it didn't matter because it didn't even ask him on the computer whether it was a 4 or a 6. So we got lucky there. Ton of mosquitoes. So I'm doing this here, and then I'm gonna undo the one in the back. It just takes a while, so I'm gonna put this bolt here. I'll do this one. And after undoing these two bolts, the starter should fall off. So if I'm not mistaken, that one should be a 14 also. Where did that 14 go? So shaking it here, it should come free. Let's see. Yeah, so you just gotta pull it out. There we go. Dang. So looks like it doesn't come out easy. I wonder if I have to pull this box out. More work. Let's see. Compare the old one. I'm not even getting it out, so it looks like that thing might have to come out. Okay, so undo that battery cable. That might not be the right size. We'll do, that's a 10. Jeez. Dang, that thing is not gonna come out. Okay, so this is a 10 also. I don't know why it's giving me such hell. Let's see. I don't know if there's a way to get this thing out. Actually, let me see if I can do this. Undo this one here. That starter doesn't want to come out. So I'm undoing this one with a 10. This one over here with a 10. Wrong tool. Boot just comes out. I have to find out what's holding this thing in, because without moving this plastic box to the right a little, I'm gonna have some trouble. So so it's so close. battery box is in the way. And this one here, for some reason, is just vibrating. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna do that one. I'll take that off. Don't drop it. I'm known for being Butterfinger, so I'll take these off. Put them over here. Okay, take the battery out. And then we have this thing. Okay, this is a problem, so we have to undo those. They're in the way. So undo these 10 millimeters. Okay, we'll undo those. There we go, and that should give us the room that we need. So undo these two 10 millimeters here. Okay. Bunch of mosquitoes out here. Okay. So, okay. That thing's out of the way. Let's pull the starter out. Okay. So, still got this positive cord hooked up to it, so see, I'm pulling this out. See the positive right here. I'm gonna pull that out. I think that might be a 14 also. Put this up here. Oh yeah, I think that's going to be a 13. Put the 14 up there. Okay. Don't drop the nut. Take the cable off. Oh, there's a washer in there. You don't want to lose that either. It'll keep the cable on, so it doesn't back out. Okay. There's old starter, new starter. Comparison looks pretty close. So you gotta cut this thing here. I already cut it with some scissors. Put the new starter in there. Lift this thing. Move these wires out of the way. Thank you. Very good. So we got the new starter in there. We're gonna take off the nut that comes with the new starter and the washer. I'm gonna put the eyelet on over this positive cable bolt. Try not to drop these. See, make sure we're still okay. Good. All right, so make sure that we're still recording good here. All right, good. So we'll put the eyelet over. Let's see where to go. There we go. It's back here. All right, so put the eyelet and put it over the starter bolt. First, I'm gonna move this boot back a little bit. Clean it a little. Okay, good enough. I'm gonna put it over the bolt here. Nice. And follow it with the washer, lock washer. Oh, don't drop it. I almost dropped it. Like I said, I'm real bad about dropping stuff. Okay. I'm gonna put the positive cable in here with this 13 millimeter new 13 millimeter nut. Okay, see if I can get in there with this, make my life easier. Nope, I'm gonna get 13 millimeter wrench because I'm not putting it in the same way I got it out. Come on, 13. Ratcheting wrenches make your life a lot easier, but you don't need them. You can just use a regular wrench if you want. All right, and while I have all this crap taken apart, I'm just gonna bolt in the starter bolts because I have everything taken apart already, so it'll be easier. Oh, I used a 12 point a while ago. You don't want to do that. Try and use a 6 point. That's a 12.14. You want to use the 6.14, and it has less chance of stripping. So, and hardly any bolts are 12 point anyway. So, let's see. Our old starter bolts are over here. So the new one didn't come with any starter bolts that I know of. So save your receipt because you're going to need to return it, get your core charge back, unless you did this before you went and bought the new starter. Thread it in by hand so you don't strip the threads, and you might have to wiggle this around a little bit. Make sure that it's lined up properly because it won't go in unless it is lined up. So I got one started, and now that that bolt is started, you can come in here in the back, stick your hand through here. Oh no, that's not gonna work. So I'm just using my left hand here and find the hole with the bolt and thread it in, get it started at least before you go in there with the power tools. You want to strip them. Okay. Okay. So top out. Can I get in there? Yeah, that's a mystery how that happened. Let's see. Somehow this wire got caught. Oh, here we go. I don't know how that happened. Okay. So that's right, we use the extension for that one, right? Okay. So 14 millimeter. Get in there. I'm gonna get a 14 millimeter wrench and make sure they're nice and tight, because a loose starter can give you problems. Some cars won't start if the starter is too loose. But I think I'm gonna opt for the manual 3/8 wrench. And just do it by hand. Take the extension off, put the 14mm on there without the extension, and do the back one. Nice. All right, keys over here. And then we have our two 10mm bolts. Put this bracket thing back in. But first, put the boot over this 13mm positive, and put your solenoid signal wire back in. 10mm bolts. Start it by hand. Get the power tools. Make sure it goes in right. Don't cross thread it. Because if you do, you're gonna have to go in there with a tap and fix it. Let's see. So this thing, I might have to undo that because this part goes in and up. No, we don't have to undo it. It just shoves up into the air box. There's a hole in there. So just guide it up and line up your holes over here. Put in your 10mm bolts. And you know, I'm gonna try and shove this a little bit further up because it seems like it's not making a good fit. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Get it up there. Okay. Thank you. So, let's see, line this up. Start it by hand. Get the other one. Start it by hand. Okay. Let's see, where's that tool? Power tool. Oh, back here. Sorry, thank you. Okay, I'm in. Battery box is next. This is a hold down. Let's see, so the battery positive is on the left and negative is on the right, and holding it in was the metal bracket here. This goes on top, this one goes here. So let's see if I can find that one. Oh, there it is. Okay, so the nut here, put the battery in. See, making sure I put this thing in right. Looks like this goes here. It does look a little flimsy, but let's see. Let's see. This goes in. Thank you. Nice. No, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, I think that's just always been broken that way.
Has it?
Yeah, I think it just goes in there.
Oh boy, yeah, I don't want to have it sitting in here all however it wants to go in. Let me see. So I'll stick this in here. And then
Been held by one side. That just
it has?
Yeah, that just kind of.
Okay. Let's see. So I'll hook this over here. I'm gonna put this one in. This bolt, 10 millimeter. And then we'll mess with that other one over there. And it should hold it down. It's kind of a weird design. So we'll tighten this up. And tighten this one. I don't know.
Yeah, that one doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it just.
That's okay.
It's the one side. That one is as long as it's in there.
Let me see. Okay, so
Yeah.
that one. Hold on. We'll see if we can get it with a 10 millimeter and see if we can turn it. If we can't get it with a 10 millimeter, we'll leave it alone. But